So down here, go ahead, take it away.
Go, Minigun, going to be in the bottom left-hand corner. He is our blue Protoss, and Shakura's Minigun's absolute go-to map.
Yeah, it really is.
In every tournament, every time I ever see him lose, he immediately picks Shakura's, and I don't know that I've seen it work out for him too many times. I'm curious to see if he's got any legitimate special builds planned out for this map, because he picks it all the time. It is kind of a good map for Protoss to kind of hang back and take a really early natural.
Sure.
Choke is very tight. Force field's really good.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for a Forge Fast Expand right away. So
Yeah.
no real surprise there. His opponent, of course, is Complexity MVP's DongRaeGu, spawning as our red Zerg here in the top right-hand corner. Now, as you were hinting at before, Minigun does pick this map a lot, and he does favor the Forge Fast Expands, and then just does, ridiculous gateway timing attacks or something along those lines. That could certainly be effective, but DongRaeGu, I've seen play incredibly strong on this map. I mean, he loves those maps where he can open for very, very aggressive, like 2 base strikes, and then just, double or triple expand after that and cut the map in half. So I've seen him on basically just on the flip of a switch go from aggressive Zerg into super macro Zerg and be able to pull it off really well. And I don't know if Minigun is going to appreciate that style coming at him, because his style doesn't play into that too well.
No, it really doesn't. Minigun definitely not known for his macro style play. He's more of I would say, a player that is good at hitting specific timings throughout the game.
Sure.
He's got some pretty clean builds, and I've seen him execute them fairly well. But when you're going up against DRG in a long-winded macro game, it's going to be really difficult. So
Right.
I'd like to see Minigun maybe try and bust out that Sentry Warp Prism build that I've seen him use on this map really, really well.
Yep.
Where he tries to block off the ramp with those sentries, goes up to 6-gate Robo. I don't know that he opened with a Forge when I saw him do that, but I think it's definitely still applicable. Even if you open Forge Fast Expand.
Oh, Forge Fast Expand, 6-gate Robo, +1, or even, well, at that
Sure,
point,
yeah,
if you go
yeah.
Forge Fast Expand, you're more than likely looking at a +2 timing or something along those lines.
+1, +2, whatever.
Yeah, but no, it can be really, really strong. And it looks like he doesn't even want to lose this little probe. Stole his 5 minerals and is going to get the hell out of there. Making his way down to the bottom left. I don't know if this is... Curious, actually, why he's doing this, why that probe's there, because it's not really in good position to jump back in for another scout. It is going to avoid the Zerglings that are being sent out for map control, though. Gesundheit. And let's see. All right, Zergling speed on the way. Minigun, on the other hand, he has his Nexus coming up, and he is adding a gateway, so he'll start walling this in eventually. And there's not really many opportunities for old DongRaeGu to poke in.
No, there are not, and we'll have to see how DongRaeGu responds to this. He does have speed, quick speed, mind you. He's not... See, him and, well, at least Idra's approach on this map, I just recently casted some games between him and Minigun on this map. Idra's approach much different. DongRaeGu looks to be going after the early map control with speedlings.
Yes.
Wants to be fully aware of what's going on.
Full wall.
It is indeed. He's going to have to kill something at some point. And
Could be Stargate then. But
Idra
anyway,
will... No, it's fine. Idra will go for much later gas and get a super fast third on Shakura's. That's really his bread and butter. But I feel like, getting the gas earlier allows you to get an earlier layer, allows you to possibly get an overseer, get a mid-game scout, figure out what's going on.
Sure.
I just kind of think DRG's style is a little bit safer.
Yeah, I agree. But the question is, what is MVP going to do after this? He did put down the full wall, and I've seen a lot of players just go for a 7-gate timing attack, and then they wait until Warp Gate technology is done, then destroy the Cyber Core and go and attack. But could pretty easily go over to some sort of Stargate as well. DongRaeGu, excuse me, especially if he pursues this +1 melee, is going to have a little bit harder time holding off any sort... Oh, okay, actually, I'm going to take this back a little bit now. He's throwing down the 3rd hatchery right away to go ahead and counter the fast expand out of Minigun. That suggests to me that we're going to see an evolution chamber pretty soon. He's just going to plop a spore at each of those, because the follow-up from Stargate's pretty common after what Minigun already did.
And our chat is going absolutely crazy. Don't worry, guys. I'm not going to die. And thank you for those of you that appreciate me and Cats casting together. We love casting together.
Oh, yeah.
Can definitely get super technical. And no, HD has not been fired from IGN.
Is that what they're saying?
Everybody thinks he's been fired for some reason.
No.
We have backup casters. We've got three main in-house casters.
And over the past few weeks, I've been sick. Then HD got sick. Then you got sick. So it happens.
In San Francisco, there's like this
Plague
superhuman sickness going around, and a lot of us have to ride the subway to work.
Yeah.
And you ride Muni, I ride BART. And like this morning on BART, there were just people hacking up lungs everywhere. And you know, by the end of my ride, I was kind of like cowered in the corner, hiding away from everybody with my hood up. And I'm the one that's sick.
Right, exactly.
And I'm hiding from everyone else on the train. And I've heard from friends that live in the city. Oh, we have the Robo and some additional gateways here, +1 on the way as well. But he's also getting the Twilight.
Yes, he is.
So I think we're going to see some Blink Stalker action here.
Exactly.
Very quick Blink on the way. What kind of a timing do you think he'll hit, and where do you think it will be?
I imagine it's probably just going to be 6 gate, and then he's going to test the waters, and maybe try and put down an expansion beyond that. Unless he's going to do. Right now we see 4 more gates coming up, so it's actually 7.
Wow,
gates.
he's doing. Wait a second.
This is
That
actually,
was a warp prism in the production queue.
Wait a second.
He got rid of it.
Oh.
What are you doing, Chad?
Yeah, that's interesting. Unless he's. I mean, it's possible that he was using grid and that was a misclick or something like that.
There it
No,
is!
There it is. It is afterwards. All right.
Yes.
Sentry drops.
+1.
All right. +1 armor on the way now as well. +1 weapons is already done. Twilight Council.
Why are you killing that pylon? Will that open it up? I do not know. I think
so.
it might
Yeah.
open one
He'll
slot.
He'll be good to go.
Certainly
Because
not going to be able to get any
there's
immortals
right
out. He might not even be able to get stalkers out through there.
I think he's okay. He still has the forward pylon, so he can warp in units right here. Or
Okay.
Warp in units down here below ground.
Stalkers are pretty big, bro. They're pretty fatty.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna find out in just a second.
Those little spider legs.
And looks like
They
get away.
can.
Yep, they can get out. All right. Starlings are like,
Almost saw
that's a
that
lot of
warp
units.
prism.
Let's actually take a look at his vision. He actually saw all the gates there as well. Yes. Anyway, I mean, I was going to see this could be something like, I remember casting TT1 versus Chef, I believe it was, in Qualifier number 1, and he, TT1 ended up going 8 gate on Terminus off of 2 base, and Chef was able to pull it off. It's pretty beastly. It's a good game. Highly recommend everyone look it up. But, looks like Minigun's not going to go quite that all in, but let's actually make sure the gateway count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it is just 6 gates.
And DRG is going to be all over this. He already has a pretty big pack of lings out, ready and waiting. Oh, I'm cheesed right now. Sir Scoots has entered the room. Cameo
Scoots?
appearance. You want to
Hello! What's going on, man?
How are you?
How you doing, sir? Jump on in. We're going to watch Minigun blink onto the high ground here.
Good.
Let's see if he's able to force field off the ramp. No, it's way too late, and the force field is bad.
Oh, Minigun in a little bit of trouble here. A lot of lings surrounding him, but good force fields nonetheless. I mean, he trapped all of his stalkers in there. He's not going to lose any of those
The
units.
subsequent ones were good, but he would have been able to trap those on the road ground for a long time. But
A lot of lings, though.
follow-ups are pretty good.
We've got
the
lings
high
on
ground.
both sides now, and they could potentially surround here. As soon as those force fields expire, Chad is going to be in a lot of trouble. The lings, for some reason, is running headlong into the force fields.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to join up his forces as soon as the force field expired. There was enough energy left on the sentries that was never really going to be an issue.
Looks like a lot of people in chat are happy to see Sir Scoots join the party over here. Yeah, where'd you come from, man?
I'm here to kill esports, man. You gotta start here.
First of all, that has never been your MO.
Second of
You are
all,
one of the saviors of esports.
that is a true story. Fungal growth is pretty good, yeah. And looks like all but 4 of the stalkers are now dead. Minigun gets away with 3, but he is a little bit behind now, especially with DRG already well saturated on this 3rd base.
Yeah, DongRaeGu, kind of a beast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know anything about the Complexity MVP sort of merger deal? Do they have any Koreans coming over to live with their players or anything like that?
I've not heard. I mean, obviously they expanded their deal from what they originally started with, which was good. But I don't know about the reverse plans.
Well, we're gonna have to talk a little bit about the EG house. Once
Yeah,
this
we'll do it
game
at the
is
break.
over.
Yeah, for
no
sure.
doubt
So-
about it.
All right, well, here comes DongRaeGu, and unfortunately, all the Zealots are on the high ground, so they're not going to be able to take damage. We do see a third expansion with the use of the Warp Prism coming out down here at the 6 o'clock position. Should evade detection for
really
a
like
while.
that.
Yeah, we don't have any Overlords down here, so it doesn't look like DongRaeGu is going to spot that for a while.
I actually really like that. It's a ninja expansion on his part, but the problem here is he didn't do any economic damage with that 6-gate Warp Prism all-in that he's trying to do.
No. There's been one worker killed this entire game.
One worker killed, and Minigun invested so much to try and end the game right there. And now that we have Infestors out, DongRaeGu looks like he's going to go for the throat here. He's going to probe with some speedless Banelings. Now speed is done, but I don't know how he's going to break this front door. He's probably just going to continue to expand around the map and, force Minigun to come out and play at some point.
Yeah, okay, there we go. There's a couple of High Templar in the back. I don't know if DongRaeGu saw those or not, because that would certainly put it into full energy Infestors if he decided to test the waters a little bit. Storm is finished as well, so a mass amount of Lings just being forced through a choke point would be ended very, very quickly. So DongRaeGu is certainly doing the smart thing and sitting back for a little while. As soon as he catches wind of this expansion, though, I expect there to see a little bit of action. Until then, I would expect a pretty standard macro game to be played. Oh my god! Looks like he may lose the hatchery. No, it survived with just 118 points of health. Warp Prism drop did go down there.
All right, so a bunch of Infestors on the field now for DRG, and they're pooling energy. Look at all those Lings. It's a lot of Lings.
It certainly is a lot of Lings. That's 120 lot of Lings.
That is 120 Lings, a couple Banelings.
All on 1-1, getting +2 carapace as well.
There's some Banelings here with speed, just kind of hanging out, but he's not really committing to Banelings right now. We saw him commit to that Baneling timing last game, where he got a ton of Banelings, picked them all up in Overlords, and went for that massive drop.
I watched the bottom of that. That was disgusting. So
it was pretty cute.
It was pretty amazing. Anyway, a lot of High Templar on the field already for Minigun. So that's actually pretty cute. He's going to have a lot of high energy storm, things like that go down, immediately be able to turn them into Chartons, and bam, hidden Dark Shrine down at the third expansion.
Note to Protoss players out there, when behind, drop down a DT shrine, see what can possibly happen. It's a pretty good fail-safe.
Feel the catch-up DT, the bane of my existence.
Right?
Yeah, no kidding.
I've lost more games.
Where's Fair Jeff to come defend the existence of the DT? But
oh, Jeff loves his DTs. He's no defender of that statement. He loves his DTs, and the Warp Prism will go down. They obviously don't have that new buff that they're expecting in the next patch.
Yeah, 100
shields.
Yeah, 100 shields is going to be actually pretty darn
Terrifying.
good. Yeah, it's going to turn them into a really viable unit. We're going to see drops everywhere.
I mean, they're already super viable. Anything that relocates however many gateways, X amount of gateways directly into your main is kind of a big deal. People underestimate their power. And Minigun's out in mid here.
And he actually catches a lot of those Banelings. That Baneling army is completely gone.
Oh my god.
That was pretty good. All right. Well done, Minigun. He takes the ones that have used their energy, turns them into Archons right away, and saves a few with high energy left so we can actually drop down some feedbacks if those Infestors decide to return for Phase 2.
Chat seems to be quite enamored with the fact that Sir Scoots is here.
Hi, chat.
What is he doing here?
Just hanging out, checking out, and welcome to the dungeon, by the way.
Thanks.
So,
It's nice to see your dungeon.
yes,
Isn't it nice in
appreciate
here?
it. So, thankfully, no sirens on the streets of San Francisco quite yet. So,
Yeah.
And I think actually that's part of the reason Sir Scoots is here, to help us build a better dungeon, if you will.
That's all part of it. Absolutely.
Awesome.
all right.
Yep.
That's quite
Quite an AC vent.
Yeah, but in the
It's
corner, it's a little warm in your
Isn't it
dungeon, dude. I'm
though?
just gonna say. I don't mean to throw IGN under the bus. It's a little warm in
It
here.
gets hot in
It's a
here,
little
man.
warm in here,
It
yes.
gets hot in
I've
here.
only been here for like what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine like an 8-hour stint. in
Yeah,
this
we've already
room.
done
It
one
gets
round of
pretty
casting today.
intense.
This is round number 2. So,
Yeah.
here we go. Both players max. Both players accumulating resources at the moment. DRG with a little bit less tech-intensive army, and Minigun actually sitting on pretty good upgrades at the moment. We do have Adrenal Glands coming down. As soon as those hit, the Zergling army is going to be, or Zergling follow-up is going to be quite incredible. Nice job with the Fungals.
Really trying to use those Warp Prisms to good effect, but he hasn't managed to pick off that hatchery. He keeps going for it. He keeps going for it. He's lost position there twice. And DRG's army is just looking pretty menacing, man. He's got a lot of Banelings in there, a lot of Roaches now, and he can remax super quick. Look how much money he has banked.
Yeah, certainly.
4.7K. And here we go. The big engage is going to go down. Fungals dropping everywhere. Good feedbacks. And I can't really tell who's going to come out on top here. I think that Minigun's going to cleave this army down, but the resupply from DRG is going to be very quick.
Yep,
and he'll be able to re-engage pretty soon.
That's 34 roaches now in production at the same time, along with quite a few good upgrades as well. So Minigun is definitely trying to start doing some economic damage. But there's enough retreat spread here, and there's enough forward bases that he has to deal with first, that these actual critical mining bases aren't really under any direct threat at the moment. So
And there's the Greater Spire. So we're going to have some Brood Lords here pretty soon. These big, elegant things that they
elegant?
are.
I think that's the last word I would use to describe a Brood Lord.
Oh, have you ever seen them float around? They're very acrobatic. They do their little flips.
Oh, roaches hugging the stalkers, though. The Immortals trying to do as much damage as they can. I love upgraded Immortals. These so much damage to armored units. It's not even funny.
I am not excited for 6 range at all.
No, they're pretty much going to be incredible.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot more time pushes. Minigun doing a pretty good job here. I mean, he's certainly holding his own in the midfield.
Starting to whittle away at those banked resources for DongRaeGu as well. Looks like he's going to have 5th base here at the top left-hand corner, well protected behind a few cannons as well.
I think that ninja expansion from Minigun is really paying off throughout
certainly.
this game. It hasn't been harassed. He's had
He
it
doesn't-
for quite
not
a
even-
while.
he doesn't even know it's
No.
there. I mean, he's got to figure at this point, but that's sort of his expansion up. But he doesn't even technically know it's there.
Uh-oh.
Spaghetti goes.
This is not a good engage from Minigun at all. The Lings are going to get a full surround. The Roaches taking care of everything. He's losing a vast majority of the Stalkers. Both the Immortals go down. This is huge for DRG. Mostly mineral-intensive units. He's not even losing Infestors, and this is going to give him time to save that ever-important gas for the Brood Lords. When they come out, I will show you how elegant they are.
That was a pretty good couple of...
We will zoom in on them.
Actually, a couple of really good storms just went down, though, and he stops the Overseer that's in production, so the Dark Templar are going to be able to get and do a lot more damage. They've got 20 kills between them at the moment. First Brood Lord's going to come up in a bit, but a bad rally there. Minigun picks off those units, so he actually did really, really well in that engagement.
All right, here we go. 7 Brood Lords in production now, and this could be what is necessary to administer the coup de grace. He's been trying for quite some time now. He just can't seem to finish Minigun off, and I feel like it's because he doesn't know about that ninja expansion. So he keeps winning these engagements, and Minigun's just resupplying super quick because he's mining so much. And DRG's like, what the heck do I have to do to this guy? Well, I think Brood Lords are a pretty solid response here. And
Yep, here they come. There you go, the graceful
the Manta Ray.
Immortals
Flying manta way, right?
And despite Minigun's best efforts, he is being pushed back under the weight of the Roaches and the
Shoot
Brood
little-
Lords. And it's
They do. Scurrying around on the ground. But with all these Broodlings out on the field here and the direct damage being done by these Brood Lords, it's going to be so tough for Minigun to hold this without Void Rays. And we have no Void Rays in production.
He actually just went over to Robotics Bane, is producing double Colossi at the moment.
Not gonna help him.
Nope, that's already been countered. He's already past that stage where he needs to get up some Void Rays, like you mentioned. Stargate transition is really nice. But looks like Minigun's going to try and blink up underneath these. Yep, there they are, Brood Lords. And
It
1,
is.
2, 3 are going to fall, but the rest of his army is going to get overrun while that happens. And finally, we're going to see the first amount of economic damage done in this game.
Is it just me, or has the last 20 minutes of this game just been like one giant non-stop battle?
Basically.
I mean, they are absolutely slugging it out.
Well,
on
the way
Shakura.
Minigun has actually been reinforcing, he's not had a full defensive position the entire time. He's actually been able to assert his ability in order.
Yeah, until now. He's in a lot of trouble here. He's down to 125. DRG at 184. He is pushing his way through to the 5th right now for Minigun, taking out the remainder of his Stalkers, and with that, he will seal the deal on this base at least. And Minigun's income just plummeting right now.
Yeah, and he's down to about half the supply of his opponent as well, so DongRaeGu producing another 11 investors to, and they already have Neuroparasites, so that's just going to kind of put the nail in the coffin as he'll be able to take over those Colossi that are just not being supported. Minigun doesn't even want to have anything to do with it,
Yeah.
and he GG's.